Hey, welcome back to the channel that discusses the language of the divine will and the kingdom within. This week we're looking at the 14 body parts of Osiris. For those of you who don't know who Osiris is, here's a picture. Before we get into the 14 body parts, have a look at his headdress. And now have a look at these headdresses as well. And have a look at this now. And this here is the third ventricle. This is an old drawing. You won't see that in your modern medicine books. You'll see this image. But from the top down, that's what it looks like. Now let's put it beside Osiris's headdress and the other headdresses. You see the correlation? That isn't what the mainstream tells you, but the art and the imagery, when you start looking at your anatomy, does reveal the same thing. Now look at this. This is one of Osiris's scepters. It's called the Was, W-A-S. And this is an image of your pineal gland. And here's another. That's why it looked like a snake. Interesting, nay? Yay. All right, on to the story. Osiris and Isis were king and queen, either brother or sister, or husband and wife, depending on the dynasty. The story fluctuated, but the basic story stayed the same. In the story, Osiris's evil brother kills him, cuts his body into 14 parts, and buries it along the Nile River. Because we're using the anatomy to describe the religious stories and myths, we can assume that the river is the cerebral spinal fluid that runs down your spine, or that is encased in your spine is encased in, with the third ventricle, all one sealed unit. If you count up from the bottom to the 14th vertebrae, which again, you won't be able to do that using modern charts, you'll have to go back in history. And thankfully, China has produced yet another map of an old spine modernized, and here it is. Look at the 13th and the 14th vertebrae. In the story that Osiris, or Isis, I should say, when she goes to find Osiris's body parts, she, in some dynasties, the story is told she finds 13, and in some she finds 14. But here we have the yin-yang, which is the center of man, the horizon, down below the material and above the etherical. This is the temple of Isis in Dendera. This image here, if you look very closely and count the people, you'll see that there are 14 different men and women wearing different headdresses that lead up to Osiris. The Masons have a ritual that they practice. I believe it might be the Royal Arch. There was a video leaked on the internet regarding their reenactment of the builder of Solomon's temple, Hiram or Harim Abif or Abif. But he's the Hiram. He was the temple builder. After he built the temple, 3 louts came and tried to force him to give his secrets up, which he refused, and they killed him. 14 days after his body was in the ground, King Solomon was told about this, and he sent men out to recover the body. So they reenact this, the Masons, as a ritual. So the ritual is obvious. And if we look at the image here in Dendera, we see the same thing, coming out of the world and rising up to the ethereal. If this topic is of interest to you and you'd like to know more, check out the link to the free book in the description.